In this episode of the podcast, I'm going to share a strategy, super easy and simple, that you can use today to get free food at Qdoba or Chipotle or similar restaurant structures. Tune in and take notes.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
So something that you guys may not know about me is that when I was in undergraduate at U of I Champaign-Urbana, my weekend job was working at Qdoba, and actually really liked that job. And I think it's probably a good sign that to this day, I still eat at Qdoba or Chipotle and similar restaurant concepts of like build your own meal as you go down the line. Hey, do you want A or B? Do you want A or B? One of the things that I noticed when I was working in Qdoba world was that there were actually ways you could hack the system to get more free food if you wanted it, because the standard operating procedure at a Qdoba or a Chipotle is that you have a standard amount you're supposed to get for any food you request. And there's actually a simple workaround that you can use today at your very next visit to Qdoba, Chipotle, Mod Pizza, or any of those similar restaurant structures where you start at the beginning of the line and they ask you, do you want this or this? Do you want this or this? Do you want this or this? I'm going to share that strategy with you in this episode. And then I'll share its inverse, where if you're going to the restaurant and you need to find a way to keep your carbs down or reduce your caloric intake from said food, I'll also share a strategy that you can use for that as well. And hopefully this is helpful to some of you guys out there who maybe are experiencing the impact of inflation. Your food costs are going up. Everything is more expensive now than it was. Hopefully this can give you some relief if you're looking for a way to get a little extra food that maybe you could save for your next meal when you go out to eat. So let's launch right into it. So in a Qdoba setting, and I'll use Qdoba as the standard example, but again, you can apply this to a lot of different kinds of restaurants or other different restaurant chains that have a similar structure or experience. You'll start by telling them what general food category you want, and then they go into asking you questions like, all right, with your steak burrito or your steak burrito bowl, your chicken burrito bowl, would you like to have white or brown rice? Would you like to have black or pinto beans? And for whichever one you choose, they give you a standard scoop size into your bowl or your burrito. And I have found, and this is where you can really hack the system, is that if you ask for half of each, anytime you have an A-B choice, the people that serve the food and the spoon itself isn't really built for half size portions of anything, really. It's not really built for that. So if you ask for half and half on the brown rice and the white rice, you end up getting more like 3/4 of a scoop of each, or even a full scoop of each for no additional cost. And then you get to like black or pinto beans, you could ask for half of each. Again, you don't actually get, in practice, in reality, you won't actually get a half scoop of each. You'll get more like 3/4 to nearly a full scoop of each. And so you've just increased, for example, the amount of food that you get by like 50% or more with just this one ask. And then you can get to the salsas. You could say, I'd like to have a half scoop of each. They end up giving you more than a half scoop of each. And so you get up with considerably more food at the end of the line for no additional cost, because you're meeting their parameters. If you actually ask for extra rice, actually ask for extra chicken, they will charge you an upsell. It'll be an upcharge for that. But if you don't ask for it, if you use the half and half strategy, you'll actually end up with the extra food for free. The inverse is also true. Let's say you go to Qdoba and you would like to have the ingredients of a naked chicken burrito bowl, but you want to bring your carb load down. What you can do is actually ask them for only one of the two options, say the brown rice, and actually ask them to be super careful to only do a half scoop, because you're looking to keep your carbs down and you have to really restrict the portion sizes on this. They'll pay more attention to how much they scoop. And while it won't be legitimately a half scoop, it'll be less. And going from a full scoop to even like 60% of a scoop is a pretty significant reduction in the carb load of the meal. In this way, you can make significant swings in how much food that you get. You can have some extra food to save for later after this meal, or you can cut down your temptation to overeat by, at the start of the thing, preempting the amount that you get. So both strategies work, and they work at a whole host of restaurants. A lot of restaurants follow the same general pattern that I just described, where you go to the start of the line and you request X or Y or Z to be added to your thing. And you can implement this strategy today. And I hope that's helpful for you. It's Coach G here, just helping you guys to find ways and workarounds to get more out of your restaurant experience. I thank you for the gift of your time and your attention. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more useful tools and guidance, go to CrossFitEdwardsville.com and feel free to like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment sections down below. See you in the next episode.